Hey there, sorry about my ratty, raggedy looking appearance. I am about to get cleaned up after my run. I am just sharing something that I think is rather amusing with you, taking a few minutes today to share this with you. So, I have gotten back into some pretty intense training, I guess you could say, for my triathlons. I am currently signed up for one in June, one in July, and I plan to do another one in August. I just haven't gotten to sign up for it yet. But the June one is a sprint distance. The July one is an Olympic distance, and then the August one will be a super sprint if I end up doing it. I do intend to do it. But anyway, so since I have gotten back into working out, one of the hardest things for me is running. It always has been. I'm not a good runner. And just all the changes in my body went through with bed rest and a C-section and everything, and not being on modified bed rest even before I was put on regular bed rest. I literally don't run at all in my pregnancies. So when I found out I was pregnant was the beginning of September of 2017. So to give you some perspective, I stopped running in September of 2017. I delivered the baby in February of 2018 and was, recovering from my C-section and all the blood transfusions and everything for a long time after that. So I didn't even start running even easy, like jogging or anything, till probably about June. So we're talking a good 9 months of no running whatsoever. And from the end of October until I think maybe May or so, I didn't work out at all. And that for me, that's like not even in pregnancy. I never go that long without working out. I always work out all the way through my whole pregnancies, literally all the way up until the end, as long as I feel comfortable. At the very earliest, I think I've quit somewhere in like 32 to 34 week range, but that's like, I think one time I was pregnant, I quit that early, but the other times I've literally gone right all the way up until the end. So at this last one, for me to not work out at all for a long time, it was rough on my body getting back into it because it was just, you know, the muscle tone is gone and the flexibility is gone. And this time, because of the bed rest, like literally laying down for so long, I don't know if you know how rapidly you actually lose muscle tone when you're not even allowed to walk. Like when I was at home, I was on bed rest for a month at home, and I was only allowed to get up to go to the bathroom or to shower. And then when I was on the hospital bed rest for the 3 weeks before I had her, I was in the hospital. I wasn't even allowed to sit up. Like I literally had to lay down. I couldn't sit up past 45 degrees. So like I literally was not using any of my muscles. Then I had my C-section and I was like, not moving a whole heck of a lot because of that pain from that. And then when I was up and moving, I was every day at the hospital with the baby, in the NICU, just sitting by her. So it wasn't like super active. So really hard to come back from all that. And I did try to do a little bit of running last summer, summer of 2018. I would get out maybe once or twice a week and do maybe a mile, maybe two or three. And a lot of times it would just be like kind of jog walk kind of like intervals. I had the stroller or whatever. So I very rarely got up to like 3 miles. And if I did, it was like literally 3 miles of like jogging for a minute and then walking for a couple minutes. It wasn't really like running. So now I'm actually running and it's slow and it's painful, and I'm just trying to be patient with the process because it is only March 31st today, so I do have time. My official 16-week training plan starts tomorrow. So tomorrow will just be like when I start to kind of get into the build-up process where I'm building up my miles and I'm working more on getting my speed on my interval days. But anyway, so I came here to tell you today I've been super, super sore lately, lifting weights, trying to go heavy, build some of that muscle back. And I was sore from that. And I've been really bad about eating protein right after a hard workout. And really bad about not stretching because I just am like, oh, I'll do it later. I don't have time right now. And then I never get to it. And I know this is like so bad. As a group fitness instructor, I can tell you that I'm sorry that I, as the instructor, am the one who's like guilty of this, but don't do it if you guys work out please be sure to do your stretches. And if you do a hard workout, anything where you like destroy your muscles, you feel that burn, the lactic acid building up in there, you have to have some lean protein like right after you're done. Please do it. So either way, I have gotten to a point now where I've just like got this accumulated, soreness and tightness. And so I'm like trying really hard to stretch it out and roll it out. And if you don't know anything about foam rolling, it's really, really good for you, but you have to do it right. And you have to do literally like a quarter inch at a time. You have to move so slowly on that foam roller, because if you just like roll it back and forth, you're actually not working out those little, like everything that's stuck in those muscles, everything that needs to get shaken out of there. And you need it constant slow pressure moving over the muscle in order to push it out. You can't just roll it back and forth. So for example, here's my foam roller here. And so you literally just want to turn it just very, very, very slowly as you're rolling. And so I roll my quads and my IT bands, my hamstrings, my glutes. I have a hard time, like it's awkward to try to roll any lower extremities. So like calves, anything like that, like is really kind of hard position wise. So this is what's funny. This is not funny. This is serious and it hurts, but it's okay. It's good for you. Do it anyway, even if it hurts. The funny part is I was like trying to get to my calves and I'm like, I can't do this. On this run today in particular, I don't know why, but I did it right after I lifted heavy, and my anterior tibialis was really burning me for some reason when I was running. And if you don't know what that is, it's kind of on the front of the shin, like kind of on the front and the side. So like if the shin bone is here, it's kind of like along the side of it. So I was like, I need to roll this out somehow. And I asked my 12-year-old to come and stand over me as I laid down and try to get an angle so she could roll on this, like push it down on me. And it just wasn't enough pressure because it just isn't firm enough. And she was having a hard time getting the pressure right directly on me. And so she suggested that we use this. This is a rolling pin from the kitchen. So this is an actual wooden rolling pin, and we hardly ever use it. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Like, yeah, they make tools that are similar to that are really for, stretching muscles and stuff. And they're really expensive, but this is kind of the same idea. It's just a different material and it's a different shape. But I'm like, I guess it would work. So I literally laid on my back and I had this as a bolster under my knee. And I had her rolling this out. And she rolled my gastrocnemius, your calf. If you don't know, that's your gastrocnemius, is your calf muscles. And then she rolled my anterior tibialis. And then she did a little bit of my hamstrings too, because I asked her to, since I was already laying on my belly. And I was like dying at her so bad. I'm like, let up. And she was laughing this like evil laugh. She just thought it was so funny that like she was hurting me. And I'm like, what are you, sadistic? Like, why is it funny? And she was like, I just think it's so funny that I need to do this. And what, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this pain? And I'm like, I would say an 8. And then she was like, how about now? And she pushed down all hard. And I was like, ow! And she was dying laughing. I was like, you're evil. But anyway, so I don't have any of those fancy tools. I just have my foam roller. But if you have one of these at home and you don't have any fancy tools, this is a really great way to kind of roll it out a little bit. You could probably have somebody help you out. It actually felt really good when she did my back. She wasn't pushing so hard, and she kind of rolled up and down my back a little bit, and just kind of lightly, and that actually felt really good. But yeah, I just had to tell you, I thought it was really funny, and painful, but funny at the same time. So that's my story today. For those of you who are coming back from maybe bed rest or a long pregnancy break, or maybe just getting into working out and you're having a lot of pain, drink that water, eat that protein, roll it out, stretch it out, roll it with this. I don't know. Those are my recommendations, and keep it up. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.